This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNN.Network. We're coming to you from the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2019 in Vancouver. I have with me today Andrew O'Donnell from Supercharged Stocks, which is a newsletter, and we're doing a Wall Street view. Andrew, welcome to SNN.Network.
Thanks, it's a pleasure being here.
So give me a little overview on the newsletter.
So I started the newsletter about 2 years ago, and my background is as a broker. So I worked at Merrill Lynch. I've had a lot of background in financial services, and I really saw an opportunity here moving from commodity-based strictly to let's take a look at this junior market. And it was a bit of cajoling as well. I had some friendly people tell me, take a look, it's been down for a long time. And it took only a weekend for me to look at some charts and realize, oh my gosh, there is a screaming opportunity here. So I just went on head in, and I thought, you know what, this is where I should be. This is a whole sector play, and I'm all in.
So what do? Do you pick stocks? Do you choose one versus another? Explain why.
So what I try to do is educate people as well as point out options that are there. So I do work with some companies, and I disclaim that to people, and I say, listen, I've been paid to work with XYZ, but those are companies that I picked that I want to work with because, once again, these are often clients that I brought along the way from years ago. So I'm only as good as whatever information I give. So I always try to do it as layers, as if I educate someone and tell them, here's why you have any interest in the sector. I have to get them first to go, okay, I've got some interest, okay, I'll look at it. And then say, out of this, I have a model that I like to use to narrow down, okay, let's look at some companies then. So where's the commodity? Where are they positioning themselves? What locations? So it's a kind of a step-by-step approach to get someone to see, can we get you interested again into looking at junior mining?
So what are you looking at now?
So I love a couple different regions, and I'm working on the theory that smart money is coming home on a big kind of scale. So I love BC. I live in Vancouver, so I have a natural love for the sector and the people here, and I have access to a lot of people. So I know that the Golden Triangle has amazing opportunities there. I cover a number of companies, and I write them up. Go take a look on the website. But there's a big opportunity there. I also love Nevada. I mean, a lot of people, even the States, will know, oh yeah, Nevada's very mining friendly. Arizona and Quebec, there's just certain places where, yes, there's regulation, but that's a good thing. There's a lot more focus on people realizing that with trade wars and whatnot, that we really need to harness a lot of the natural resources ourselves because we don't need someone else necessarily harnessing them around us. We should have a good supply of copper, of vanadium, of all of these resources if we want to keep on building the future. What
is your typical newsletter reader? What's their demographic? What's their, the story behind them?
It does range because what I'm trying to do actually is get more millennials interested. And I try to think in my head, just as I did when I was a broker, there's three reasons why I want to look at this. So if I'm looking at this brand new, why do I care about copper? And, at first you think, ooh, that's very tough. How do I make copper sound sexy? But there is a way. And, you start talking about electric vehicles. You start talking about the batteries and how much copper is in there. So getting millennials where they realize, wait a second, if I really believe in a clean tech, green tech future, then I need to be putting my money into not only just, the likes of Tesla, but into companies that are feeding that whole supply chain. And once they start to realize that mining isn't the big bad boy in the room, that it is the solution for a carbon-free future, it takes time, but with that education, they start getting really excited. They go, oh, wait a second, I see what you're talking. It's all this kind of space-age stuff with vanadium redox batteries and power grid systems and whatnot, and they start to see that this vision of the future can happen.
Do you have interaction? Do you respond to your subscribers when they have a question from an educational standpoint?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I love that. I'll get carried away back and forth sending emails to people because I learned from that as well. Because I then get to see if someone doesn't know anything about this sector or region, and they say to me, Andrew, what do you think of this? It reminds me that, oh, cool, you've missed something. So next time you're talking about it, this is what people want to know. It's hard for me being in the sector, immersed in it daily, talking to people every day, to forget that I'm in it. I'm a firm believer. I've drank the Kool-Aid. I love it. So whenever I'm able to talk to someone who's outside it, and they'll go, well, wait a second, what about this? It reminds me that I made a long path and a journey to get here, and I have to remind myself to go back and start as that fresh kind of clean slate to go, what does someone new really need to hear? What would they like to know if they want to get into and first start looking at, okay, let's look at resources again.
So, Andrew, how do you get millennials to invest in your ideas?
Well, I think getting millennials excited about things is a bit challenging, but it is a good challenge. And I think that leading the way with, with a real commitment to change. There's a virtue in what we're doing is that not only do I want to be, as some people say, agnostic in their investing, is that they want to have a bit of a purpose. Like, if I'm going to put money towards something, will it influence and change the future in a positive way? And a lot of these solutions is less. We're going to have less emissions, maybe use less plastic. I work with this one nanotech company that's able to recycle plastic, and it comes back lighter and stronger. Things like that, people's minds get blown away. And it was we were talking about earlier, there's so much happening out there in the market that often we don't hear. But when people hear about it, they go, is that really being done? That's incredible. And then they're excited because they think this might make me money, yes, but it's also changing the face of how we actually interact and how we're going to work and what the future might look like, cleaner, greener, and whatnot. And I think that gets them more than just, you're going to make a bunch of money.
Let's get your website out for more information, would you?
So it's Supercharged Stocks. It's free right now, and at some point I might go to a subscription, but right now get right on it, take a look at all the articles. It's all free. There's some good stuff in there.
What's the website?
Superchargedstocks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew O'Donnell, Supercharged Stocks. It's a newsletter. I'm Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live from SNN.Network. We're at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2019 in Vancouver. And this was a Wall Street View with Andrew O'Donnell. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks so much, Shelley. Thanks.